If you know how to aggregate your data in Excel, then you already know how to aggregate your data in SQL. But if not, keep watching, because by the end of this video, you'll know how to find the sum, average, and count of any field in your SQL database. All right, so the sum is what you would get if you add up all of the numbers from a column. So if I wanted the sum of this amount field from the payments table, I would just pull that field from the correct table. But I need to indicate that I want the sum of this field. So I'm going to type sum, and I'm going to put the field that I'm summing in parentheses. And when I run this code, we can see right here that I get the sum of the amount column. Now, if you don't like that this new column is called sum parentheses amount, you can actually rename this field by giving it an alias. An alias is just a different name for something. So we can rename this sum of amount field by saying as, followed by whatever we want to rename it. So I'll just call this total amount. If you don't want this underscore here and instead you want a space, you can do that, but then you would need to make sure that your new column name is in quotation marks. So anytime you have a space in your column name, you need to put quotes around it. I'll just stick to the underscore. All right, so let's run this. And we can see that my new column is now titled total amount. The average aggregate function works the exact same way. To find the average of the amount column, just indicate AVG and put your column in parentheses. Now add an alias for better readability, and when we run this code, we get the average amount. Okay, so the count aggregate function also works the same way, but there's some additional functionality to using count. If I want to count the number of rows in the amount column, I'll just say count, put the amount column in parentheses, add an alias, and there we go. But when you do this, when you count the rows in just one column, there could be some null values in this amount column. And if there were, then those null values would not be counted. So this only gives you the number of rows where there is some value for amount. If you wanted to count all of the rows in your entire table, you would not indicate a specific column, but you'd instead use an asterisk. This will ensure that every single row is counted, even if it contains null values. All right, so now you know how to aggregate your data in SQL, and make sure to follow so you don't miss the next video.